Have you ever pondered the terrifying implications of love affairs spiraling tragically out of control? This tale, as grim as it is, begins with an unlikely cast of characters. Rachel King, a respected schoolteacher, beloved by her community, is at the center of it all. Her life, tragically cut short, is the very heart of this tale. Then there's Julie Jean, a woman scorned. Jean, according to investigators, had developed an intimate relationship with William Hayes, the father of King's children. This affair, however, was not destined to last. When Hayes decided to end the relationship, Jean was left with a bitter taste in her mouth. But instead of moving on, Jean began to harass both Hayes and King, unable to let go of her resentment. And let's not forget Zaki Stephen Al-Hakim, the supposed hired gun in this deadly love triangle. Al-Hakim, an associate of Jean's, was a man with a dark past and a willingness to commit unfathomable deeds. Investigators suggest that he and Jean were seen together multiple times leading up to the fateful day, and that he even saved photos of King on his phone, along with a map to her residence. And finally, there's William Hayes, the romantic interest caught in the middle. The father of King's children, he found himself entangled in a dangerous web of love and obsession. After enduring persistent harassment from Jean, he was forced to obtain a protection from abuse order against her. The stage was set, the players all in place. But no one could have anticipated the horrifying chain of events that was about to unfold. Just weeks before the murder, Jean and Al-Hakim bought a Mercury Sable from a dealership in Philadelphia. The very same car, police would later find, was used in the execution of the deadly plot. But when a protection from abuse order was issued against Jean, it would set in motion a series of events that would end in tragedy. The twisted tale of love, obsession, and revenge had just begun, and its ending would shake the community to its very core. A dark plan was brewing in the shadows of this love triangle. Amidst the turmoil of broken hearts, Jean and Al-Hakim embarked on a chilling journey that would culminate in a horrifying act of violence. In the weeks leading up to the murder, they purchased a Mercury Sable from a dealership in Philadelphia. This vehicle would later serve as both their getaway car and the damning evidence that tied them to the crime. Their plot thickened as they meticulously stalked King, tracing her movements from her residence at the Linwood Garden Apartments. Al-Hakim even saved photographs of King and a map to her home on his phone, clear indicators of their malevolent intentions. Their relentless pursuit led them to the most unlikely of murder scenes, a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. On that fateful day, April 11, 2023, King was waiting in line at the drive-thru with her 11-year-old son, Jalen. Unbeknownst to her, Al-Hakim was lurking in the shadows, ready to strike. He approached her car and with cold-blooded precision, fired several shots. King was killed instantly, her life cruelly snuffed out in front of her young son. This heinous crime was not their only act of violence. On the day of King's murder, the Mercury Sable was spotted by Philadelphia police in connection to an unrelated deadly shooting. When they attempted to stop him, Al-Hakim fled in the Mercury, leading to a high-speed chase that ended with him crashing into a fence. He was taken into custody and later charged with the Philadelphia murder. In a chilling twist, investigators matched the shell casings from the Philadelphia homicide to those found at King's murder scene. The shots, they concluded, were fired from a ghost gun, an untraceable firearm often used in criminal activities. As the shots rang out, a life was stolen and a family shattered. The echoes of the gunfire reverberated through the hearts of King's family and friends, leaving behind a haunting reminder of a life tragically cut short and a mother ripped away from her child. The wheels of justice, although slow, began to turn. The police pursuit led to the arrest of Julie Jean and Zaki Stephen Al-Hakim, setting the stage for their trial. As the court case unfolded, the depth of their horrific crime was laid bare. The emotional impact statements from King's family echoed through the courtroom, painting a picture of a life cruelly stolen. The jury's deliberation was swift. In less than an hour, they returned with their verdict: guilty. The pair were sentenced to life in prison, a just consequence for their heinous act. In response, the defense attorney expressed dissatisfaction, promising an appeal, while the district attorney underscored the tragedy of the situation, emphasizing the senseless loss of a life lived right. With the sentencing, a measure of closure was given to King's family, but the question remains: what happens when love affairs end tragically?